Welcome, beautiful souls, to the Yatra Sister Podcast. I'm Sharita.
And I'm Allison.
And today we are going to talk about...
I broke up, but I am not broken down.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because we've all been through a breakup.
And we've all been broke down through the breakup. But we don't have to be.
No,
right?
you don't. Well, you might be for a minute.
Okay.
But you get it fixed. You will get fixed.
Yes, get fixed.
You do get fixed.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I'm excited to talk about that. Breakups.
Mm-hmm. Divorces. Those are the Mac Daddy breakups.
I've had two Mac Daddies.
You have had two Mac Daddies.
Yeah.
I've only had one Mac Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other little breakups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, someone once told me with divorce and major breakups, it's like death, but you still have to see that person.
Oh, I
So
think
it's even worse than death.
I think it is sometimes. Now, if we have somebody listening in that has experienced a death or a loss of a spouse,
Yes.
they probably would heavily disagree.
Yes.
But I think that's because they're still have fond memories of that person.
Right.
So, of course, when you have fond memories of someone, you're going to miss them. Unfortunately, divorce,
Yeah.
I think it taints your past, it taints your present, and it taints your future. That's why divorce is so hard. It takes everything. Yeah. The whole timeline becomes tainted in the middle of divorce.
No, I agree. And my mom, lost my dad many, many years ago, and she and I have had this conversation, and she agrees too. She was like, I think it would be much harder to have to go through that and see that person continuously.
You mean divorce? Your dad passed away.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Passed away. So she was speaking from that viewpoint of a bad relationship, a breakup, versus not seeing that person you were married to and they're no longer there. So she said she believed the pain would be worse to continue to see that person because, like you said, they're become a part of your everyday life.
Well, and I was a child of divorce, so I have done probably two Mac Daddies. One as a child, one as an adult. As an adult. So my parents divorced when I was 8. I, of course, loved my dad, and this is during a time that divorce was very different. So we're talking early. That would have been just hitting in the 80s.
Okay.
Where men were not as active in children's lives during divorce.
Right.
So I don't want to 100% blame my dad and say he was this terrible father to abandon his family. I think it was very common in the 70s and 80s. That's what men did.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think in 2022 as well. Just saying.
Well,
just saying.
I'm just saying I experienced it. My daughter's experienced it a little bit different. I agree.
Right.
But I still, in my heart, felt abandoned.
Yeah,
I felt like
absolutely.
my dad had left me. I felt like my dad didn't just leave my mom. I felt like he left me.
Yeah.
And it was much harder knowing he was 30 minutes up the street and still not choosing to see me than just passing. Because then I had to figure out, why is he not choosing to see me?
Right.
What is this reasoning that he's not calling me every day? Why is he not coming to my school? Why is he not stopping over and having dinner? I couldn't, figure that out, that it was a divorce.
Right.
Because you're young. You think your parents divorced you. It's what you think.
It's a breakup, even if it's parents divorcing for kids. Because with my ex-husband and I divorcing, and we have 3 sons together. I just remember looking back on those moments. For my sons, it was a breakup as well.
Yes.
It's a breakup. So
It's a fracture to the entire family.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we could talk about how terrible it is, because I think both of us, you've gone through 2. I've gone through 2. One as a child, one as an adult.
Yeah.
We will agree we will never be pro-divorce.
No.
I would always say try to work it out.
Oh, always.
However, divorce is going to happen. So we can't just say don't divorce.
Correct.
That's the end of the podcast, because that's bullshit, and that's
100%.
horrible advice. Because what if you are in a divorce? Now what? What if you are in this breakup?
Correct.
Now what?
Now what?
What?
Let's talk about the now what.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We all know it's terrible, but shit still might go astray, and this is going to happen. Or you're in the middle of it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think the first thing that I needed to hear was you will get through it.
Yes. So I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are there phases to a breakup?
Well, there is phases to what is called grief. So
how many is it?
There's 5 stages to grief.
So I thought it was 3.
No, there's not 3. There's 5 stages. What are your 3 that you thought?
Okay, my 3 is fuck you, dirty bastard, go to hell. Those are not a part of that 5.
I mean, those are excellent stages, and I think you go through all of those.
Yeah.
Those stages you just described.
Absolutely.
Probably daily.
Yeah.
But no, that would probably all just be in the second stage, Sharita, which is called anger.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just layer different layers to the anger stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is really 5 stages to grief, not to break up.
Okay. All right.
And a breakup or a divorce is grief because the relationship has died.
Right. Absolutely.
That's what's happened. Not a person, but the death of the relationship is a grief.
Yeah.
So the 5 stages are, first one, denial.
Okay.
That probably is fuck you bastard, because you are a little bit in denial.
Right.
You're jacked up, can't believe you're saying this, can't believe this is happening, so you stay a little bit in denial.
Correct.
And then is anger. Anger is, I cannot believe this just happened.
Right.
Especially if there's an affair involved, which we both endured a little bit of that. Lying involved.
Yes.
Anger is the now fuck you bastard.
Correct. Yes.
Or bitch or hoe.
Or, yes.
Yeah.
So I was onto something.
You are onto something. Absolutely. I think we've all experienced that.
Okay.
And then there is what's called bargaining. That's where it's wrong to go back with the person. However, you start bargaining in your head how you think you could go back and make it work for the kids, or I might not find anybody any better, or here's my favorite, you forgot how bad it was.
Ooh.
So you start thinking, no, it really wasn't that bad.
Correct.
That really wasn't, maybe I was being dramatic. Then after that is good old-fashioned depression.
Yep.
Yeah, lay in bed, watch Netflix,
Yeah.
smoke, drink.
What's your song you always sing? Hello, Darkness?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yes.
And then the last stage is acceptance. Here's the problem.
Okay.
It takes a long effing time to get to acceptance.
It does.
My rule of thumb that I tell people is 5 full years.
Yes, I can completely. Let me count since I'm where I'm at. So I got 1 more year.
You got 1 more year till you're at full acceptance.
I think I'm good, but I still got 1 more year to kind of play with that acceptance part.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Okay,
yeah, it
I'm
takes
close.
that long. There's a lot because you don't go through these stages clean, okay?
Yeah.
You don't go denial. Oh, good, I'm done with denial. Then anger. Oh, good, I'm done with anger. Then bargaining. Oh, good, I'm done. It's not like stacked up like little boxes. You go, you flow back and forth. Like you might be in depression for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you go back to anger.
Gotcha.
Then you get done and you do anger, and you might go back to denial, and then you go back over to depression again. You might even think you're at acceptance, and be rolling along and be like, oh my God, it's done, I'm feeling great, and then you swing back to depression again. So just so that you know, you go all the way through these. I think when I was going through it, one of the things is, I think I've talked about this in other podcasts, is when is this going to be over?
Yeah,
that's the question you always want to know.
Yes.
When is this going to be over? And my answer to most people is not anytime soon.
Great answer. And just looking at my 2 relationships, and a couple of very long-term relationships in between that I've had, you're absolutely right. It takes years.
Yes.
To get beyond that. It takes years.
Yeah. But the good news is, I always tell people, is there's so many of us on the other side of the rainbow. Know you will make it over here with us.
Yes.
So don't fear you're not going to make it over here. You're going to make it. You're going to get to the side that we're all at in the acceptance side.
Right.
But it's going to take you some time. I mean, this is a big whammy. I mean, a breakup is a big ass whammy.
It is. It really is.
I think the biggest piece is I always had to ask myself this, and I always ask my clients.
Okay.
What are you really mourning? Because most of the time, what you're mourning wasn't the person.
Ooh. Okay. So glad you said that, because I'm looking back and I'm just thinking back for my relationships, and I'm sure other people's. If that person was an asshole to you, or if you were the asshole in that relationship.
Yes.
I mean, it could have been that way. Why would you mourn that? So I used to wonder that. Like, I'm so glad you said that, because I used to look back and say, okay, if this happened, this was said to me, I was treated this way, why would I mourn that? You know?
Yeah.
So,
why am I mourning this person? Why am I missing this person so deeply in the gut of my belly, knowing this person cheated on me, lied to me, maybe had an addiction problem, I don't know, treated my kids poorly, didn't have any money. I mean, we could list off. I mean, we know so many people that will miss somebody. And you wonder and you say, why are you settling? Why do you settle? My favorite thing I used to say was, I know my dog bites, but it's my dog.
Ooh, but it's my dog. Wow.
That's how I used to think about with my ex-husband. I know he bites. I mean, he was never violent. He was very, very kind in general.
Right.
And to this day, I'm going to be really honest, live on a podcast, there are times that I still miss him. I don't miss him as a husband. Let me be very clear.
Yes.
I miss him as a friend in my life. He was a friend I was with him for 20 years.
Right.
So when we ask, what is it that you're mourning? I think most of us are mourning the family, the family unit, the normalicity of your life. You'd gotten settled in, you had a schedule, you had a way, you knew. So it felt safe in a way. Even though you might have been in an unsafe relationship, it still felt safe. You knew familiar.
Yeah.
You knew the drama. You knew how to fight with this person. You knew the routines.
Yes.
You know their family. You've become part of their family. Even if you dislike their family, it's still your family. Again, they're your dogs.
Your dogs,
they're your dogs.
Absolutely.
So I think what you're really mourning is that was your identity. You're missing your identity. And your identity has been ripped away, and somebody's saying, oh, you're never going to have this identity anymore. You have this new identity. Now you're a divorced person. Now you're a person that has to do law stuff. You know, you're single again.
Yeah.
I remember standing in line trying to get child support and looking around at all the women in line and thinking, I never thought I'd be this woman. Standing in this line trying to figure out how to get child support.
Yeah. Absolutely. Child support, food stamps at that point.
Yes.
Kids. Yeah. All of that.
Yes. So I think you're mourning what you thought could be or what you thought you had.
Yes. 100% yes.
And that might not be a divorce. That could just be a girlfriend or boyfriend you've had for 6 months.
Yeah.
That you thought you found the one. And you got excited. And you thought this was the person. And so you're missing the idea that I thought I had the one. That's really
the idea. It's like a ghost. It's like that ghost of that person or that relationship still lingers around.
Oh, I mean, I was with my ex for 19, almost 20 years. And I still, even me telling you I miss him, I still think I'm missing a ghost. I think I miss who I thought he was, and I don't want to say that ugly.
Right.
Because maybe he was playing along trying to be the person that I wanted him to be, and he never was that person. That's why he was unhappy.
That's
probably
possible.
why he cheated. Possibly why he left.
Yeah.
I really thought that he had the same beliefs as me, and we were yoga people, and everything was great, and we had the same joint identity. We were Sid and Nancy.
Yeah.
And so even if I miss it today, funny enough, I think I'm still missing something that didn't even exist.
Yes, correct. So going to that point, are we missing, in a lot of ways, a fabrication of what we've created in our head?
Yes, 100%. We're missing the fabrication in our head.
Wow.
That damn narrative again.
It's the narrative, 100%.
And how I know it is when we talk on the telephone, I don't even know who he is. I'm like, wow. He's not ugly. He's not rude. He's a nice person. I hope he's very happy. I hope he's out there having a great life. But he parents differently.
Yeah.
I parent Carolina. I mean, I'm all in. Parenting is like, I wake up and that's my focal point till I go to bed.
Right.
Parenting is just something to the side for him.
Okay.
I don't think he doesn't not love her. It's just we have different points of views on that. I, again... probably was in love with the fabrication of what I thought he was.
Yes.
Doesn't make him a bad person.
Not at all. But that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
so much sense in so many ways. So when it gets to that point where looking back, or hopefully if you're in it, you can see it may be a fabrication and not continue your life in that direction if it's not healthy.
Yeah, and I don't think you have to make the person that either broke up with you or you're breaking up, I don't think you have to 100% make them an asshole or a terrible person.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
I think you could, they might have asshole tendencies.
Yeah.
They may be doing asshole things, but then I'm going to go back to what Maya Angelou says.
Yes.
They probably told you that shit, you just didn't want to hear it.
I mean, I was kind of told that shit, and I thought it was sexy. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, you got a little, all right, I like this. So it's not that I didn't know.
Yes.
But I think also in what I did know, I was like, okay, for me, I like this. And then that this grew into some other stuff.
Yeah.
That, like you said, in speaking with them today or seeing them today, I look at them different. I'm like, were you like this when we were together and I just didn't see it?
Yeah.
You know? So,
and chances are they were.
Yeah.
But at the time, maybe you liked it. And you know what people say? They'll go, well, you know you can't change someone. I think most of us know we can't change someone. Here's what I think we do.
What we do?
I think we can adapt to them. That's what I think we think. Well, that's okay. They drink a lot. I can adapt to that. Yeah. That's okay. They have angry outbursts. I can adapt to that. That's okay. They're selfish. They have trauma. They're constantly saying narcissistic things to me, or I'll adapt to that. The problem is we keep adapting and adapting and adapting to this shit that we shouldn't be adapting to, not because they're a bad person.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be just normal things. Maybe they say, I get up at 4 a.m. every day and run on the treadmill, push on my Vitamax, and then turn the TV on because I love to watch CNN and I'm really involved in the government. And you might be like, well, you're cute and sexy. That's not going to bother me. Then a year later, you're like, what the fuck are all those sounds at 4 o'clock in the morning? And I hate CNN, and I don't want to live worrying about the government before I have my cup of coffee. But we thought we could adapt to that it wasn't going to bother us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So are we both adapting? Because what happens, what I find is when those big breakups happen. Yeah. I feel like I don't know who I am. And is it because I've adapted so much to that person or wanting it to work or to get along that when that breakup happens, I'm looking at my real stuff and like, who the hell are you?
Oh my God. That happens, I would say, majority of the time. You've adapted so much you don't know who you are anymore.
Absolutely.
Now, personally, in my divorce, I don't think I had to adapt, but I think my ex-husband was adapting to me. So I think he probably felt that he had lost himself more than I lost myself.
Got you. Okay.
But what I can tell you where I lost myself was after the breakup.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck I was, Sharita. I was gone nutty because I didn't know, I wasn't prepared for this divorce.
Right.
So then I didn't know who I was. So then my level of having to adapt to being a single person when I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was going out. I was trying to figure out dating. I was doing crazy things. I was losing weight. I was doing all kinds of. It took me a while to come back to my true self.
Yeah.
So I think there's several places in a breakup that you lose yourself. You may not have lost yourself in the relationship, but you may lose yourself right after the relationship.
Right.
It can happen in so many different areas.
Wow.
That's why it's a messy business.
It's a very messy business. It's a painful business.
It's painful and it's confusing. I think one of the things that got me, there was 2 things that I would say to myself.
Okay. What were they?
Okay, well, maybe 3 things.
Okay.
Fuck you. Fuck the bastard. No, I'm just joking. No, those are my 3 things. No. First is I refuse to let my self-esteem get injured in it. I would wake up every day saying that. I'm not going to let myself have my self-esteem injured.
I love that.
That was hard work. There was a lot of tears, a lot of crying. Why does this person not love me? Why does this person not think I'm worth it? Why? I would ask those questions. Yeah, but I tried not to let my self-esteem get injured. And what I chose to say to myself was, I will never shame myself for experiencing love. I'm not going to look backwards and say I didn't love my ex. What that's saying I'm batshit crazy.
Right.
I stayed with him for 19, 20 years.
Absolutely.
If I say, well, I never guess I really did love him, or what the hell does that say about me?
Like, what does that mean? Like, the people that have been in my life, I still love them.
Yes.
Like, I still have love. I will still talk to them to this day and enjoy them. But I'm like you. How can people say, well, I guess I never really... Why the hell you spend 20 years with somebody you never really loved them?
No, that's weird.
That. Okay.
So I like to say I lost a love, not the ability to love.
Can you repeat that?
I lost a love, not the ability to love.
I love that.
Because I believe you can love many people, and you should.
Yes, you should.
You should love many, many people.
Yes.
I love to love, Sharita. I'm a lover at heart.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Now, I'm going to be faithful. I'm not going to cheat, because I've been on the receiving end of that shit.
I'm cheating myself.
But I can have love relationships.
Yeah.
So many.
Yes.
I can be married to my current husband, but I can love you.
Yeah.
You're my work wife.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Yes. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we should love many. And God forbid if something happens to my current husband, like I said, the moment of until happens.
Right.
If I'm still kicking in a hottie, shit, I'll love again.
You better.
Or I might be like, F that, I've done men inside and out.
Right.
Now I'm going to love something else.
We'll try this way. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either. I am not. I mean, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to keep loving.
Keep loving. That part.
Yes.
Loving. And I think a lot of people confuse that with sex, and it's not.
No.
Love, sex, and intimacy are 3 different things.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we all have the ability to have sex with or without a partner present in our life.
Correct.
I mean, seriously. You can have sex with yourself.
You can.
You can have sex by stopping by Adam and Eve's.
You can.
You can have sex by paying for it. You could have sex by just going out and picking somebody up. Now, are those ideal situations?
Sometimes.
Okay, as Sharita just said. I mean, I'm going to say, to pay for a man for a weekend to say everything exactly, I'd give him a script. I'd be such a woman.
You better.
I would. I'd have index cards, and when he said something wrong, I'd tap that index card and say, I'm paying you. This is your response. You've got your cards mixed up. Flip that one over. Flip it over. There you go. There's the response.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. It would be more like, I'm hiring a man not again for the sex, but I need correct responses all weekend long.
Yes.
You look beautiful. Would you love to go get your nails done?
Yes.
Tell me more about your childhood. I'm so intrigued.
And you were paying for that.
I am paying for that.
I'm not opposed.
So, okay, we really took this sideways, but
yes.
I do think, you're right. It's beyond the missing of the sex.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can still experience love in so many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways. Just because you broke up, like we just said, you're not broken down.
Yes. It took me a while to learn that second part.
Yeah.
Because the expectation of when you with someone for a long time or you have this amazing relationship, I think the expectation is once it ends, then you are supposed to feel broke down. But that's not necessarily the case.
No, I think you should feel broke down for a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just like if your car broke down.
Yeah.
A lot of us, it's going to take a little while to get it fixed.
Yeah.
You got to get some finances. I mean, there's a lot that goes into fixing a car. And then you have to decide, do you even want to fix a damn car?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
So I do think you should give yourself time to feel the broke down.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you should say. I'm just broke down temporarily.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I need a little moment.
Yeah.
I need to feel broke down for a little bit. And I do think you should give yourself that pocket of time.
Yes, that space. We talked about giving yourself that space.
Oh, yeah. And in that space, I think you should get permission to do erratic behavior.
Yes.
I think that's appropriate.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't regret any of my erratic behavior.
No, I still don't regret any of mine today.
No, I think I lost some friends. I did. I lost a lot of friends because...
You do lose friends during...
Oh, my God. You lose friends like furniture. Mm-hmm. One, they don't want to hear you crying about it anymore. They don't want to hear your anger. They don't want to go through the stages with you. Yeah. And then if you do act a little erratic and you were not the person that was before and you're trying to get your married friends to go act erratic with you, then they're judging the shit out of you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're out at 8:30 on a Wednesday night and you're having martinis?
Mm-hmm. This is true.
And you're like, well, I'm fucking single again. Yes, I am out at 8:30 having martinis. But... You know, I do think you need a period, like I said, some erratic behavior. I think you need a period to cry. Like, really cry.
Absolutely.
Like, boo-hoo cry.
Like, ugly cry.
Oh, yeah. Like, play the music loud.
Yeah.
And you know when you play the song and you go, that song didn't get me, like, to really cry, so I think I need to play it the second time. Because,
repeat.
Yeah.
Repeat.
Because I need to feel it harder and deeper.
I needed to hit here.
Oh, yeah, because I need to go find my photo albums and get those out and hold the photo and then replay the song.
Yeah.
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 I think that's okay. I think you should do that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think there should be an anger moment.
Definitely an anger moment.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
You just try not to do something illegal in the anger moment.
Right. I agree.
I always talked about if I was going to write a book about breakups, one of my chapters I wanted was don't leave the TV behind.
Okay.
Because when we divorced, I had this soft moment where I was leaving behind things in the house.
Soft moments, yes. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, he really did like the TV more. He should keep it. Oh, well, he doesn't. And I look back on that and I'm like, you know what? He cheated on my ass. I should have, even if I didn't want that damn TV, I should have dunked it in a pond.
Oh, yeah. Take a baseball bat and hit it.
I should have beat the shit out of that thing and thrown it in the pond and said, that's where your TV is. Yeah. Now, do I feel that today? No.
No.
But I should have found some kind of outlet.
We need an outlet.
Yes.
We need an outlet.
Yeah, you need to bend some golf clubs. Like, you need to do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not promoting violence or criminal activity.
I mean, it sounds like we do with, jail time, death row, and some of the other topics that we talk about. It sounds like we do promote violence, but we're really nonviolent people.
Obviously, I didn't do it.
Right.
And I'm mad at myself about that.
Right.
I was way too kind.
Yes.
I really did. I wanted to get to forgiveness so fast, Sharita.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wanted to be the yogi.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to get to forgiveness and we can get along and kindness. I wanted to leap all the way there so fast that I never gave myself an opportunity to do anything with some anger.
Right.
To say, whoa.
Exactly. You wanted to skip stages and you can't.
Yes. I wanted to skip. Yeah. Anger was an ugly stage to me. It didn't look good.
Yes. I felt the same. Mm-hmm. I felt the same. And it wasn't... that's why I came to yoga.
Yeah.
That's what sent me running to yoga, because I was like, I need something tangible. Now, I didn't come in and beat the yoga mat. I didn't do anything like that, but I needed something tangible because of the anger and the hurt that I was feeling.
Yes, you needed a safe place to get it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I understand that. And I had that. I was obviously doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just wishing that I really did something more tangible with my anger.
Okay.
The souped up 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Took the Louisville Slugger, right? But I did find out that is criminal activity. You're not supposed to do that.
No, please don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. You could do something. I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
We'd have to research this.
Yes.
Oh, I know one you can do. I did research this years later because I wanted to have a quick, but here's a good one you can do.
What?
All right, you get all the porn magazines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you give them subscriptions, but you stage them. So, like, for the first month, all Hustler comes. As soon as they call and shut that down, the next month, you get Jugs coming. As soon as that shuts down, they get that, you get the next nasty-ass thing. And so every single time they shut one down, another one's coming. Another one's coming. And you just keep doing it. I mean, you just keep doing it. I know it might cost some money, but it's good stuff. I mean, it's real good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get your anger out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I didn't do any of those.
No, I didn't either. I focused on me because I knew that in order for me to be able to move forward in the way that I wanted to, I had to sit in the hurt and the pain for a while.
Yeah.
And deal with that. But I'm very creative, so I can write stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
The way that I see it. And then I can throw it in the trash. I mean, I know it sounds like...
Oh, no, I did that all the time.
Yeah.
I filled up journals of crap I wanted to say.
Yeah, yes.
I even wrote the woman that had an affair with my husband, I wrote her a letter.
Yeah.
And I threw it away.
Right. Yeah.
Just because, and it wasn't even mean. It was more of...
It's a release, I think.
What in the world were you thinking to do this? Yeah. What was you must have been hurting and so much pain. You must have been misguided to have chosen this, because when you were out having fun, you had no idea that there was a family you were fracturing. There were other people that you changed our life tremendously, and I'm not blaming that one person, but you've inserted yourself into someone else's life.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I did that too.
Yeah, releasing is important.
So I think all of those things help you realize I was only broken down for a bit.
Yes.
That's it. I'm just broken down for a bit.
Yeah, because it doesn't last. I mean, it lasts longer than you want it to be, but it goes away.
Yeah, especially if you layer in that time, like I said, some permission to not have to be whole right away.
Yeah.
You don't have to be whole right away. It's actually kind of fun to be broken for a little while. I mean, I had fun.
Yeah.
I met some really fine-looking people I had fun with when I was broken.
Yeah, and I tried things that I never would have possibly tried.
Me too.
Yeah.
Went and saw things, did things.
Absolutely.
Gave myself permission.
Met new people I probably wouldn't have talked to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bought things that I never would have allowed myself to buy before. So I think when you give yourself a little permission in there, again, as long as you're not harming yourself or harming others,
yes,
you can do that.
Absolutely.
So I think we've summed this up. You can break down, but you don't have to stay broken down.
Absolutely.
And you can lose a love, but my gosh, you will never lose the ability to love.
And that's where the power is.
Hell yeah. So keep loving. I love to yell out when I'm somewhere that I love this. Like, I like to be, today, I was in Trader Joe's. Oh my God. Today, really.
Yeah.
I heard this girl, she's with her grandma, and she picked up these cookies, and the girl goes, I love those cookies. They're at such and such house. They are so good. And I turned and I said, well, hell, give me some of those cookies. Because I love to love, honey. And if these cookies strike that out, and I love to do that. Yeah. I love to be places when I see somebody looking at something. Oh, I love mine. I love it.
I love it.
I think the more we can say love, and I love, and what I love, we'll remind ourselves that you can lose a love, but you can keep on loving.
Into that, I say amen.
Amen. And hey, we'll see you all on the other side of the rainbow.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.